Hi everyone. So my talk introduces a new R package for cataloging all of the highly credible treatment hierarchy questions in network meta-analysis. And this is joint work with two of my trainees, Chloe Tan and Caitlin Daly at the University of Waterloo. So first of all, what is a treatment hierarchy question in NMA? It's any question that asks when a treatment is preferred over another or several competing treatments. And in this work, we focused on binary hierarchy questions, which can be answered with a yes or a no. And we defined 6 different question types, which can involve any number of treatments from the network. So as an example, we have ranked permutations, which asks if specific treatments take specific consecutive ranks. For example, are A first, B second, and C third. Then we have a ranked combination, which is similar to a ranked permutation, but we don't assign ranks specifically to A, B, and C. We simply ask if they are in the top 3. Then we have a permutation of treatments A, B, and C. So we ask if they have contiguous ranks and if A is better than B and better than C. So the difference with the ranked permutation is that we don't say that they're first, second, and third. They could be second, third, and fourth, for example. Then we have a combination where we ask if the treatments have contiguous ranks. So basically, do they form a cluster? Then we have partial hierarchy questions. So we can ask if treatment A is better than B and treatment B is better than C. So they don't necessarily have to be consecutive here. There could be other treatments in between. And finally, we can ask questions about the rank of a specific treatment. So we can ask, for example, if treatment A is in the top 3. So if we consider all of these possible hierarchy questions involving any number of treatments in the network, then that's a lot of hierarchy questions to ask, especially when the number of treatments increases, the number of hierarchy questions increases super exponentially. So we cannot evaluate all of them. So our contribution is that we designed an efficient computational approach that extracts all hierarchy question findings from an NMA that are highly probable. So for example, that have probability over 95%. So we don't need to pre-specify hierarchies of interest. We can extract all of the ones that are highly likely. So we've implemented this approach in an R package called HPHQ, which is currently available on GitHub. The reason why our approach is doable compared to what you saw on the slide before is that we limit ourselves to highly likely hierarchy questions. And also the algorithms are designed to be efficient so that they can stop early once they know that no more hierarchy questions can be found. No more significant hierarchy questions can be found. So there are 3 main functions in the package. The first function, get arrangements, relies on an algorithm that can find all the ranked permutation, ranked combinations, permutations, and combinations. Then we have the function get partial hierarchies, which finds all the partial hierarchies that satisfy a specific threshold. That's the same for get arrangements. So it extracts hierarchy questions that specify a specific threshold of probability. And finally, the last function, get ranks by treatment, extracts all the single treatment ranking hierarchy questions that are highly likely. And we have one more function that's quite useful. It's called find redundancies. So when you interpret the output of HPHQ, you might find that a lot of hierarchy questions are significant in some NMAs, but some of them can also be redundant. So let's look at this example here. If we find that the 3 hierarchy questions presented here are highly likely, so A, B, and C ranking first, second, and third respectively is highly likely, A being better than B and B better than C is highly likely, and A better than B is also highly likely, then the last 2 of these questions are actually redundant because they're implied by the first. So if we know that the first is highly likely, then the 2 other ones are also highly likely. So we can drop the 2 other ones and simplify the interpretation of the results. So let me illustrate the package on an example of a network meta-analysis on delivery formats of CBT for depression. So here we have a forest plot that uses care as usual as the reference. And we can see that among the least performing treatments like waitlist or care as usual, we have quite strong evidence being able to distinguish the treatments, but not so much for the treatments that are better performing. So let's see if we can say more than what we're seeing on the forest plot using our package. So we screened for questions that had at least 95% probability of being supported by the data, and we removed many redundancies, and here I'm presenting the most interesting results. So in terms of ranked permutation, we were able to rank the 4 least performing treatments with a ranked permutation. So guided self-help, unguided self-help, waitlist, and care as usual rank 4 through 7 respectively with probability 98.8%. Then we were able to say something about group and telephone therapies via a ranked combination and say that they rank second or third in either order. So group could be second or group could be third with telephone taking the other rank. And this is supported with 96.7% probability. Then we found 2 partial hierarchies of a subset of 6 out of 7 treatments that also have very high probabilities over 98%. And finally, we have very high probability that individual therapy ranks first as the best treatment. So overall, this new package is able to identify some significant results that we might not see if we simply look at a forest plot or league table. So I hope you find this package useful. You can download the development version on GitHub, and also you can contact either Caitlin or I with any comments or questions, and soon we will post our manuscript on arXiv. Thank you very much.